Have you ever wondered why some people face hardships with serenity while others crumble at the slightest obstacle? What allows some to turn suffering into growth while others surrender to despair? Life is a constant stream of challenges. No matter who you are or where you are, at some point you will face pain, failure, and loss. But what truly matters isn't what happens to you, it's how you respond to it. The Stoics teach us that the obstacle is the way, meaning we shouldn't run from difficulties but instead use them as tools for growth. Just as fire transforms raw iron into steel, adversity can strengthen us if we have the right mindset. Today, we're going to explore how resilience can be the key to overcoming life's challenges and how great philosophers, leaders, and thinkers have found strength in suffering. If you've ever faced difficult moments and want to learn how to confront them with more courage and dignity, stay until the end. 2. Suffering as a teacher. Suffering is inevitable. At some point in life, we all go through loss, failure, and both physical and emotional pain. But what if, instead of resisting it, we learn to see suffering as a teacher? Nietzsche once wrote, "What does not kill me makes me stronger." This phrase isn't just a cliché, it's a profound truth about human nature. If we look at history, we'll see that many of the greatest leaders and thinkers faced immense challenges, and it was precisely these struggles that shaped their greatness. Historical examples. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. Instead of succumbing to hatred and despair, he used that time to strengthen his mind and spirit, emerging as a global symbol of resilience and reconciliation. Viktor Frankl, an Austrian psychiatrist who survived Nazi concentration camps, discovered that those who found meaning in their suffering had a higher chance of enduring it. He wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." Thomas Edison, after failing thousands of times while inventing the light bulb, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." These examples show that suffering can be a training ground for the soul. Every hardship we face can teach us something: patience, self-control, humility. But this only happens when we choose to learn from pain rather than drown in it. The first step in developing resilience is changing how we perceive suffering, not as punishment, but as a strict yet fair teacher. 3. Stoicism and the art of facing pain. If there's one philosophy that understands pain as a fundamental part of existence, it's Stoicism. For the Stoics, adversity isn't something to be feared, it's an opportunity to practice virtue. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, was born into slavery and spent years of his life without freedom. Yet, he did not see slavery as a determinant of his happiness. He taught, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." This idea changes everything. Pain, suffering, and difficulties have no power over us unless we allow them to. Stoic principles for facing pain. Distinguish what is within your control from what is not. The Stoics teach that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. Lost a job, betrayed, suffered an injustice, you can choose to drown in despair or find a way to move forward. Practice active acceptance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At every obstacle, action. What stands in the way becomes the way." If there's a problem, there's also a solution. Not always in the way we want, but in the way we need. Embrace impermanence. Everything in life changes. What seems unbearable today may be just a memory tomorrow. The Stoics trained this mindset daily, imagining the loss of everything they had, not to be pessimistic, but to appreciate the present and prepare for the unexpected. When we understand these principles, we start seeing pain differently. It stops being an enemy and becomes a tool, one that makes us stronger, wiser, and more serene in the face of life's challenges. 4. Anti-fragile mindset, growing through challenges. Being resilient means enduring challenges without breaking. But what if there was something even more powerful than resilience? Something that allows us not just to withstand difficulties, but to grow because of them? This concept is called anti-fragility, a term coined by writer Nassim Taleb. Unlike resilience, which merely resists impact, the anti-fragile thrives in chaos and becomes stronger through adversity. Examples of anti-fragility in nature and life. Human muscles. When we exercise, we create microscopic tears in muscle fibers, and the body responds by rebuilding them even stronger. The immune system. It strengthens by being exposed to viruses and bacteria, learning to fight them more effectively in the future. Businesses and innovations. Many of the world's greatest inventions were born from crisis, when challenges forced creativity and adaptation. In life, we can choose to be fragile, resilient, or anti-fragile. The fragile breaks under pressure. The resilient withstands difficulties but doesn't necessarily grow from them. The anti-fragile uses challenges as fuel to become even better. So, the real question is, how can we apply this mindset to our daily lives? Seek voluntary challenges. Put yourself in situations that demand growth, like learning a new skill or facing something you fear. Reframe suffering. Instead of seeing difficulties as punishments, view them as training to make you stronger. Expose yourself to discomfort. Small actions, like taking cold showers or engaging in mental challenges, strengthen the mind and build resilience for bigger obstacles. Ultimately, anti-fragility teaches us a powerful truth. We don't just have to survive difficulties, we can use them to become unstoppable. 5. Turning obstacles into opportunities. Life presents us with obstacles in many forms: failures, rejections, unexpected losses. But what if every barrier was actually a gateway to something greater? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that challenges are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones for growth. Examples of how obstacles can become opportunities. Professional failure. Many people who lost their jobs ended up discovering new vocations they would have never explored if they had stayed in their comfort zones. Rejection and emotional pain. The end of a relationship can be the beginning of self-discovery and a new path to happiness. Financial crisis. Hard times force innovation, creativity, and the pursuit of solutions that would never be considered in times of stability. Exercises to turn obstacles into opportunities. Reframe your narrative. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What can this teach me?" Embrace chaos as part of the journey. Life will never be completely predictable, and that's a gift. Those who learn to navigate uncertainty are never paralyzed by fear. Take immediate action. Instead of dwelling on problems, ask yourself, what is the smallest step I can take right now to improve this situation? When we learn to see challenges with the right mindset, we realize that every hardship can be a hidden gift. In the end, life always asks us the same question: will you see obstacles as barriers or as paths? Sixth conclusion: the fate of the strong. We've reached the end of this journey, but the real reflection begins now. Life will never be easy, and perhaps that's exactly how it's meant to be. Challenges exist to test us, to shape us, to turn us into who we are destined to become. Suffering is not a punishment, it's an invitation to grow. The Stoics, Nietzsche, Viktor Frankl, and many other great minds teach us that pain can be transformed into strength. The real question is, what will you do with the challenges life throws your way? Practical tips to build resilience. Daily, train your mind, read philosophy, meditate, and journal about your challenges and how you can overcome them. Seek discomfort. Small daily challenges help build a stronger mind. See difficulties as lessons. When a problem arises, ask yourself, what can this teach me? If this video resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Remember, the obstacle is the way.